Hello, welcome to the 13th house. Come on in, take your shoes off, make yourselves at home. Let's get weird for a little bit, shall we? If you're new here, welcome to the weirdness. It's going to be exactly that. If you're returning, welcome back. And thank you so much for finding something here worth returning to. Absolutely love having you, and I hope I can keep you coming back. As always, your perception is your responsibility. Only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Use your discernment. Alright, it's a collective message, okay? So if every little thing isn't resonating with you, that's fine. It just means cherry pick what does apply to your specific situation. Alrighty, so with that out of the way, let's just dive on into it. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been some energy moving in really profound ways over the past 2 days. And I think, wasn't it just yesterday or something that we had the Ring of Fire eclipse or something like that? I think so. Anyways, it's amazing how it reflects, you know. I've been picking up on a lot of heavy grief moving through the subconscious collective, and it's starting to lift. Alright, that pressure is releasing. You've been alchemizing a lot, you know, and learning where to apply that. We have delay. This could be you, someone close to you. Alright. Someone that you're close to might be experiencing delays, or you are, or might be feeling that something's delayed here. And I have been picking up on the subconscious collective wavelength of this restlessness of like having this profound personal awareness, and it you feeling like it doesn't have anywhere to go yet. Alright, so that may be where that delay energy is coming from. Ooh, we have desire for knowledge. Desiring to know how to bring the power that's in you out of you. How to utilize it, how to work with it, what have you. Alright, this one came out sideways, so I'm going to put it back. It's divine forgiveness and then deception. So that might be something that you're struggling with. It could be a decision, or maybe someone else is struggling with. Might be wondering if you've been being deceived, alright, and whether or not you're willing to lend forgiveness for whatever that situation could be. Alright. We have victory. Alright. That's strange. Alright, so there's a situation going on that you're wanting, obviously, a victorious outcome. It would be bizarre to not want a victorious outcome when you're facing really significant events in your life, right? So we're going to kind of see what this pertains to. See where we need to hone in our focus, get some insight on this. Why is delay here, please? Yeah. Ooh, we have seeing, looking, pertaining to the eye or eyes. Has an eye on you, something to see or look at, or to look out for. Respect to the sense of sight, or, you know, pertaining to seeing something physically. You could feel like there's a delay in seeing the results of something, like physically. Maybe this is regarding like your manifestations, right? Like the fruit of your labor kind of thing. Or maybe someone else is getting hung up on how something appears to be versus what it actually is. Alright? With desire for knowledge, we have the forest. The answer is in reconnecting with nature, literally or via the forest of the subconscious imagination or self. Alright? So when you think of like the forest in regard to the subconscious, okay, think of it like family trees, right? And the garden is what holds the root systems of all these trees, right? And it's all interconnected. It's just running beneath the surface of everything. All that information, all of everything. All of our roots have access to it. It's just where it's being pulled up to, okay? So, this is letting you know that the answer to whatever it is you're seeking, or like the wisdom to be able to get this victorious outcome, lies within going deeper, not looking outside of yourself. So that delay could be a direct result of trying to see something externally before the awareness to give it framework has risen up. You know what I mean? Like, you won't know to look for, I don't know, a fucking apple, okay, if you hadn't had that nudge that you need to be looking out for an apple, okay? It's just an example, alright, with victory here. Why is victory here? Victorious. Ooh. We have healthy mindset, beautiful mind, balanced consciousness, or balanced conscious and subconscious. Okay, so this is about a mindset. This is regarding this recent shift. Okay, this shift is very unique that the collective that I'm tapped into and a part of has been navigating through. Okay, we have been going through a lot. In this desire for knowledge, right? Many of us have gone very deep within ourselves. We've been navigating the quote, like, darkness, okay, the deepest subconscious parts of ourselves. And we've been facing it and finding a way to bring it up into the light, integrate it back into our system, right? So it has a role and a place to serve and everything. So our energy isn't being expended in all these different directions. And it's like, whatever the situation is, the victory is in the power of your perception and integrating the totality of what that means. Instead of, like, or this could be a sign that you've shifted this. This could be a sign that this integration has been a success. No longer seeing it as being a delay when you can't externally see immediately something, right? Let me get a couple more for this delay pertaining to the eye or seeing something, please. That wanted to come out for a second, but it was like, nah. Okay, I have a feeling that's more than one. That sounded heavy. Alright. We have 1, 2, 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to put these two back. Struggling to come out of the shell. Dependency based on lack or insecurity. A need to tend to your inner child, or not being sure about your true self. And it has this kid here in an eggshell trying to row himself around. Alright, so it's like... Many of us have this inherent awareness that, you know, it can be carried over from different lifetimes, however you want to frame it, right? But it's an awareness of who we are, the identity of our soul, our essence, right? And we might be being concerned about how something's going to look. We've become aware of this, and we've been slowly integrating it in this internal space, but we don't know how to bring it out of ourselves. Okay, we don't know how it's going to look outside of ourselves, perhaps. Okay, it's like the process of bringing what's inside out in regard to yourself. Could be a power. It could be something even external, like something manifesting externally on your vessel, okay? A certain part of your body, something like that. All right. And then with that came Eternal love that transcends even death. Soulmates. True love, a healthy relationship. And then shadow work. Shadow studies, shadow side, and learning. Ooh. Okay, so this is getting deep really fast. Alright, so you might be seeing a delay in this. Okay, so you could think of it as a divine counterpart. You could think of it as a divine soulmate. What have you. This is pertaining to a relationship. You can either think of it with yourself or with an aspect of yourself, something that's dwelled within you that you identify as like being a part of you, but not you at the same time. Something that is meant to be brought forth, okay? I really hope that makes sense. For those who resonate with that, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? If it doesn't apply to you, that's fine, because that part isn't for everyone. And this could definitely be, like I was saying before, just having parts of yourself coming out, that gives you a healthy sense of self. That helps you recognize yourself, who you are, the person you see in the mirror. How well do you feel like your vessel fits as a representative of the being within you, right? And integrating these shadow aspects helps that reflection become clearer, okay? In the case of a divine counterpart, your divine counterpart is in the polarity of shadow, right? That's not too far-fetched, okay? Shadow doesn't mean evil, dark doesn't mean evil, okay? But desire for knowledge and the forest. Oh, shit, man. That was a lot. Alright, so when you know, this is kind of reflective. When you go within, right, you might be having trouble navigating your inner realms, right? Because when you do, it seems like you're flooded with an influx of, like, sensation, emotion. It might be hard to stay focused on staying in that internal space long enough to feel like you're getting any information you can use. It's like hard to differentiate between your mind navigating rationality or mowing over things throughout the day from what your intuition or deepest self is trying to tell you to help you with the situation, if that makes sense. Because the way the cards just threw up all over that pile, it was like, it sounds like a overactive mind. And that's normal. That's normal, especially when you're hungry for knowledge, right? You're really wanting. It's hard to kind of just step back and let it come to you, because you get caught up in trying to be like, this is specifically what I want the answer to and why, and this is what I want to apply it to, and this is the outcome I want, and you start, it snowballs. At least that's the way it is for me. I can only speak from my own experience or my own perception, or that which has been shared with me through, you know, the subconscious collective. I'm not going to go and invade another person's subconscious space without their consent. I tried to be respectful. Oh shit, that almost happened again. It's a pretty smooth catch though, right? Get one more for the forest and the desire for knowledge. Of course, you went fucking flying through. Okay. Ugh. Yep. Experiences. Travel to a familiar place. Delivery, simplicity, happy in simplicity. Okay, so this is about like simplifying the process of like going deep within. Letting that knowledge rise organically, okay? Giving yourself time. Like when you first start to go within, go ahead and let those thoughts race. Let that get out of the way, and then just kind of ease into it. Don't try to force those thoughts that are racing to hurry up and move. Because that helps you gain experience of how to kind of anchor yourself, because you can think of it like the journey to the forest is by sea, okay? You have to get on this boat, this little thing here, and make your way across the sea to get to this forest, right? And when you have all this interactivity going on, think of it as like rough waters, okay? You trying to row against the current is just going to exhaust yourself, okay? But if you give it time, just focus on not collapsing under the waves and everything, just keeping yourself present. Let the rough waters pass, and then ease into that the current that'll carry you there, rather than having to row so damn hard. Anyway, with victory and healthy mindset, beautiful mind, balanced conscious and subconscious. Ooh, we have divine, masculine or feminine. Yeah, successfully embodying that that divine masculine or feminine energy, okay, and like unifying it, integrating it. It's like divine union, right? And I'll explain it this way, because it just came through, like, somebody's like, okay, yeah, I get that, but when is it going to show up outside of me? Like, I want someone to show up outside of me, right? This causes a feedback loop, all right? When you keep pressuring it to hurry up and reflect in the external. And the reason why is because you have to learn how to calm your nervous system, because the grid reality responds to your nervous system. Okay, it's a feedback loop. It doesn't respond to how well you can negotiate with it, how well you can perform something. Like, you can't falsify anything. That's why the grid responds to your nervous system that way, is because your nervous system's not going to lie. It's important for this union to happen internally, so you can recognize it when it does step into the external, and so you're not unconsciously manifesting something that's going to disrupt your nervous system, okay? You don't want it to, like, get you all discombobulated, right? Let's see here. We're going to get this guy out. Where am I at? 18 minutes? That's not bad. Alright, so for delay, seeing something pertinent to the eye, something to see, to look out for, what heavy. Is that a blank card? No, it's written in yellow. Great. Misled or lied to. Trying to see where, trying to see in your blind spots. You get one more with that. Being misled and lied to. Could be feeling, okay, feeling like you're being misled or lied to regarding this divine counterpart kind of thing, or even just the nature of divinity itself. That's what I'm picking up on. We have quantum, X, and then I want to talk to someone about this connection, but I'm afraid they'll call me crazy or won't take it seriously. So you want to talk to somebody, you want to communicate to someone about this connection you feel, okay? You could have things regarding an ex that have given you hang-ups, that have, kind of put doubt in you, and that could be a lot of that disturbance, that emotional disturbance, what gets things kind of disrupted whenever you try to access this internal space, okay? And that's normal, right? A lot of past relationships can work a number on our nervous system. And it's not a delay, all right? It's just recalibration, that's all. That nothing's delayed. And with the quantum here, this is talking about, you know, this lets me know that that is exactly it. It is a recalibration. It's not something coming in to disrupt your path. There's not any type of thing being done externally where you got like somebody, I don't know, doing spell work on you or some shit. You're not getting in your own way. It's a recalibration that it has to happen that way. And there's nothing that that can speed it along, and there's nothing that can, you know, hold it back. It's going to happen in the time it's supposed to. You can, of course, make time to learn how to navigate that better. Take time to mindfully feel into things and feel into situations so that this traveling to this inner space becomes easier. But you're on the right track. You're good. Alright, so for this desire for knowledge over here, we have, I get so frustrated with all of this because I can't see you, feel you, touch you, etc. the way that I'm drawn to do so. And it makes me feel hopeless, okay? So that could be like, you might be experiencing doubt because, like, you want so bad to experience this connection, right? Beyond just inside of yourself, because it can make it feel like it's not real. It can make it feel like it's a fantasy or something that you just made up and make you feel like you're like giving way to psychosis or some shit. But you know it's real to you by the way that it moves you internally. This kind of thing has to happen internally first because it's tailored to you. All right, what's magnetized to you is drawn in by the unique combination of you, and that way what's brought into you is perfectly aligned with that. You get what I'm saying? And we have friends here. All right, so it could be that at this phase, you know, you might, because it said, like, I want to talk to someone about this connection, but I'm afraid they'll call me crazy or whatever. So it does help to get this stuff out of you so it's not just sitting and stagnating, okay? It has somewhere to move. Whether or not you're able to get any answers or anything is beside the point. Sometimes it just helps to get it out there, okay? Because if you don't know how to, like, if, say you just struggle to go within and your nervous system still needs recalibration, right? Going to a friend and talking about it, but just being genuine. What matters is that you're being genuine when you express it, whether you're feeling further into it and going deep within to do that, or you're navigating through it and feeling while communicating with someone. Alright, because you'd be surprised how many other people are experiencing this exact thing and they're all feeling that same, like, I don't need to talk about it, people are going to think I'm crazy. And all they're waiting for is someone else to be like, this is what I feel. It's like, yes, thank God, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And then you can share experiences and shit. And, you know, you have a broader range of healing occurring simultaneously. With victory. Alrighty, that's too many. That's way too many. But the audacity came out. FBI, CIA, what have you. Yeah, it's like the audacity for these ABC organizations for things happening in the external, the narratives and what have you, to be toying with consciousness and the very nature of it. It's like the fucking audacity. And reaching this state of sovereignty, this divine union, right, is the one thing that can destabilize that narrative to such a point that it no longer has an effect on the collective, okay? Because it's not just about you, it's about this entire system, okay? And you, stepping into that sovereign place helps that feedback loop that touches everyone, that moves through everyone, right? It begins to recalibrate for them as well in response. It responds to you. Alright, so we have 3. I believe, or 4. Jeez. hold on here. All right, so we have divorce, separation, okay. Divorcing, separating from the mindset, from the narrative that you were currently, when you were operating from that collective space, okay, and before you stepped into sovereignty. You're divorcing and separating from the narrative that you were operating off of, that your consciousness was operating off of. Okay, that involves trafficking, involuntary sex, or special skill exploitation. Now you can think of this superficially or take it energetically. It doesn't matter. What happens externally is a reflection of the energetic exchange. So with this trafficking and involuntary sex exploitation, you're disengaging from this transactional and exploitive way of existing, where the feedback loop is only receiving input based on attempts to perform, okay, which is a byproduct of individuals being stuck in a survival mindset, okay. They're not engaging in what is truly in alignment with them because the current narrative tells them you have to perform this, and this to get this, you know? And so it caused the whole ruckus, like energetically pouring your energy and effort into a system that, you know, just gives you crumbs in return. You don't even have time to self-reflect and get to know yourself because you're so busy having to learn this system and the way it operates just to survive. All right, that became the other man, the other woman, in place of your divine counterpart because you weren't able to hold true to the promise you made before you came here of bringing that other aspect, like the counterpart to you, up, raising it up into its own awareness because you had to engage with all this shit out here just to even stay alive. And this change of heart has occurred, okay? And it could be also that, you know, your counterpart sees this also, and they're willing to meet you halfway instead of just, I don't know how to explain this part because it has a lot of energetic attunement that it's very specific. But when you start operating from an authentic place and you're letting your nervous system begin this recalibration and everything, the way you engage with reality, the way you engage with your own consciousness as well as the consciousness that is moving, because consciousness isn't bound to just inside your skull, right? That has an impact on what your counterpart receives about information regarding you, your journey, your path, how you're truly feeling. Okay, and when you're operating from that authentic space, it's created this change of heart kind of thing. And it speaks volumes if your counterpart is more attuned to the shadow polarity, okay? We have connecting in your dreams or during deep meditation. Get a couple more. Of course, you had to go in the floor, you little bastard. Alright. You are exceptionally good at embracing the unknown. You just struggle because you fear getting hurt again. Yet I have endured with you in a way that I can't even touch you. Please don't compare me to them. So just like I was saying, like the damage that was done by these exes or whatever, don't compare your counterpart to them. You have always known your counterpart. Your counterpart has endured with you, okay? So sometimes we can get caught up questioning, especially when we've had a lot of religious influence in our lives. This is why, certain rigid, belief structures and everything can actually become so destructive. And it can result in the erasure of one's own sense of identity because it makes it out like anything that's inherently within you is evil, and that you're just supposed to turn away from anything that causes discomfort, that causes you to possibly act out of character, whatever, instead of turning and facing these things and asking the deep questions as to why, and being very honest with yourself, taking accountability for your shit instead of just handing it off on this invisible something. Anyways. Oh, we're going at the end. Exactly. Demonic, satanic. Don't compare me to them. Them being the true reflection of what would be understood as if when one says that's demonic, that's satanic, all that depravity that is associated with those words, that is what the ones who we're calling your counterpart, that it actually is. It's projection. It's projection at such a fucked up level because they begin doing it before your system even has a chance to become aware of itself. I have something about a grandparent. Timeline dimensional shift. Technology. It could be a grandparent that had this primary influence in your life, okay, that may have caused a lot of the disruption. Started trying to bind you to their beliefs and whatnot, okay. Undercover official. Scared as fuck. These motherfuckers have been walking around under the guise of religious figures, of priests, prophets, healers, and what have you, are now scared as fuck because there's individuals who are rising into sovereignty, and the feedback loop is no longer like a broken record playing the same old narrative that they had overridden the grid system with. It's now active, awake, responding the way it's supposed to the nervous system, to this authentic harmony, right? This authentic frequency that plays the actual song of creation, not a copy of it or some fucked up remix. It's the same goddamn song over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Let me get a couple more and then I'm gonna call it infatuation, right? They had an infatuation with power, with bingo. If you know, you know. I don't want you to feel any shame or doubt about our connection, but not talking about it at all or over-analyzing it only keeps me from being able to connect with you in more ways. Bingo! We've come full circle. I love it. Chef's kiss. My ears are ringing. Alrighty. Well, I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some context of the deeper aspects of all the life be life and shit. Oh, and on the bottom of the deck, I just want to share this. It says, I'm sorry for the expectations I am barely placed upon you simply because I was told you are this or that and assumed it was your job to save me. For getting mad just because I assumed you could just appear in front of me whenever, for expecting you to solve my problems for me. I was lied to about you and I'm wanting to get to know you as you are, not as I had thought you should be. So many of us have been lied to, and I am just sorry because I didn't know. So, that could be something that you're wanting, like, validation for something you've been feeling inside of yourself. Something that you're recognizing, okay, about the connection to your counterpart or to source. Or it could be something that someone else, maybe the way you've influence someone else is helping them, and that does come with rising into the seat of sovereignty. That could be what you're putting into the feedback loop, okay? So others will start to ease into the concept of like getting to know themselves, source, what have you, as it pertains to them, and not how it interacts with everyone else, or how this book or this or that or whatever it says it should be, because that's placing unfair expectations on something that you're not even sure exactly what it is, because you've yet to even see it. Anyways, hope this helps. Until next time, bye.